Hello, hello, and welcome. Getting all of my set up. Okay. Hello. Hello, hello. I think that I have this set in focus mode. Can you see each other?
Oh,
Okay, perfect. So what I'm going to do, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so excited about this. Okay, I have to keep watching the waiting room too. To let people in. And I need to get started because there's so much great information that I want to share. And I'm starting out in focus mode to kind of go through the presentation. And as I'm going through, I would encourage you jot questions down or even put questions in the chat, and I will answer questions at the end. I kind of want to get through um, the information first. And I want to introduce myself because not everybody knows me. I am Shanna. I am a master certified coach. I have spent I just kind of added it up, and it actually makes me want to vomit to say this out loud, but I have spent about $32,000 on coaching certifications. What? That is insane to me. Plus my master's degree. And I like, I don't say that to be any kind of thing except that I love this work so much. I I love learning, and sometimes it's learning that needs to be paid for. And I also love learning on YouTube. And I love figuring things out and, figuring out how to do things, how to do them better, how to do them quicker, faster, easier, or more effective in a more effective way. So I just love learning. And so I started out as a weight loss coach, and weight loss coaching, I have just learned, translates into everything else, and especially business building. Like the two of the two things, losing weight and building a business, are like parallel universes, I think, in so many ways. And so how I got it started kind of doing coaching with coaches is I started a weekly group meeting with coaches, and a couple coaches hired me to be their coach. And I would get on calls with people and talk about technology type stuff to help them get set up in their businesses. And I was like, I love doing this. I love helping people, to women especially, to work on their mindset alongside working on the systems and the tools and the tech stack and all of that. So I've kind of been thinking of myself as a life coach slash tech mentor is what I have embraced. And so in the fall, I started my 6-week program called Full Steam Ahead, which I'll be sharing information about that at the end. Um, and it was during the fall round of that I kind of started digging into Substack a little bit. And apparently I've had an account for 2 years, um, but I've never really done anything with it. And so I started diving in, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much potential in this platform and it's free, which is amazing considering all of the things that you can do with it. And so in this workshop, and I should, let's see, just in case you have not gotten it, I'm putting in the chat the link to the workbook that I created. And I'm just going to be walking through the workbook um, through this workshop. And so anyway, so I started diving into Substack and I'm just like, holy smokes, this can replace several things. And when you're first getting started, you can use Substack in a coaching business. And some people are like, yes, I want to use this for coaching. And some people just want to be on it. It's kind of like a blog spot from the early 2000s on steroids. It has so much more potential than a blog spot, but if you just want to be a blogger and share your knowledge, stories, whatever, it's great for that too. Um, so let's see. So through this workshop, the goal is for you to have a clear understanding of what Substack is and what it's not, a completed or nearly completed Substack profile. If you have not even signed up for a profile yet, then this is going to help you to get through that process. Um, a defined publication, and you'll learn more about that as we go. We'll work through a welcome message. We will look a little bit at the website customization, which is insane. And then how you'll use the platform in your business or just in your life, whatever it is that you're wanting to do. So, and again, this is geared more towards people that want to use this in their coaching business. And also that is not necessarily the case. So you can learn just the basics of Substack by being here. So in your coaching business, you can use Substack as like your content hub. So blog, you can do, I encourage coaches to have a long form content hub. So that can be a long form video, it can be a podcast, it can be a blog, and Substack can be used for all of those. It can be used as your email list. So it's like you don't have to go pay for Kit or Flowdesk or anything like that. You can use Substack as your email list, relationship builder, and practice ground for your voice, which you can do that on social media. You can do that anywhere. But if using Substack as kind of your central hub is a great place to be practicing getting the words out, saying the things, teaching concepts, whatever it is that you are doing. It also, you can have a free and paid, you can have free and paid content areas. It's is about building relationships. It's built around email. It was originally built to be for bloggers, writers, and it is built around it being an email provider. And it's designed to build long-term trust. I just listened to a YouTube video today, and I'll include the link to that in the email when I send out this recording, because it was such a good explanation of the difference between push out marketing and drawing in marketing. So it was push pull. So we're pushing out when we are working on getting clients and marketing on social media. We're pushing information out and just like crossing our fingers and praying that that God will bring the right people to our content and the algorithms are all working beautifully in our favor and all of that. That's pushing out and using this long form content strategy is drawing people in. It's drawing the right people in to your content, to your into your kind of sphere. So I will include that video, not just reminded me of it. Substack is not social media, although it does have some social media feel, and like notes is more getting into the social media realm, and we'll talk about that more. It's not as a design competition, which praise the Lord. You don't have to curate and be a graphic designer to use Substack well. And it's not something that you have to master before using it, which I don't believe anything is, because, hey, guess what? I'm here and I'm Shanna and I'm not a Substack expert, but I have dug in and learned and I love sharing. And I I don't know if you know me at all, you know that I do not wait until it's perfect. I just kind of put myself out there, and sometimes people have to text me at 5:30 in the morning. Thank you, Nancy, for saying, "Oh, hey, the time on this post is wrong, and can do you want to fix it?" And so I fix it, and that's kind of how I roll around the world. Um, okay, so I am going to, let's see, what do I want to do here? I am going to pull up my Substack and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Substack with my face and self-care stewardship on it. Yes, nod if you can see it. Thank you. Okay, so I get to my page and I'll make sure that I'm paying attention to so many things. So many things to consider here. Okay. Thankfully, I printed out the workbook so that I can share my screen and still have my notes. Okay, so your Substack profile. If you have not signed up for a Substack yet, you can go to substack.com and it will walk you through the setup process. I'm not going through that because that literally is a step by step. It will walk you through. So this is on my screen. This is my Substack profile. This is me as a person. My profile represents me, not not specifically my business. Although in the profile I help Christian women stop second guessing themselves, get clear on what God is calling them to do, and follow through with confidence, consistency, and grace. So in your profile, you want to have a clear picture, profile picture. And I think brand consistency when I'm picking a profile picture. I'm usually in purple. I have purple hair. I use just a handful of pictures. And so people, when they see that, they're like, oh, that's Shanna, the ones that know me or have been, kind of following me, whatever. So you want it to be recognizable. A short bio, kind of like your Instagram bio or whatever, which I don't know about you, but I change mine often. I'm always playing around with it. You want to include who you help, what you help with them, and then also in your profile, you can have links. And you can see here, the Christian Life Coach, that's my publication. We'll talk about that next. And then I have I'm linked to my Facebook page, my Instagram, my YouTube, my TikTok, Twitter, which I don't really use. And then you can link if you have a book that you've written, you can link that in here. And I also have my shannapeiser.com website linked. So I have 7, 8 links. I don't know. Two, yeah, 8 links. So you can link whatever you want to link. And when people find your Substack account, this is what they'll see, and they can check out your links. Um, so there's a place in the workbook to draft your bio. If you print out the workbook, awesome. If not, I never usually print out workbooks. I will download it and then I'll write in a notebook or in Google Documents, which I use for everything in my whole entire life. Okay, so next, so this is your profile. Next is your publication. So this, the Christian Life Coach, is my publication within my Substack profile. This is my business page. So this is just mind-boggling to me. The more I have dug into Substack, the more I have like found what's available, and I'm just amazed. I was just amazed by something in here yesterday. I don't remember what it was now. So you can use Substack as a website. It's a simple website. It's not going to have all of the features that like a Squarespace has. But and when I when I have been asking ChatGPT to help me put this workshop together, it was telling me it's almost like a warning, Will Robbins, warning, Will Robbins. And it was adamantly telling me that it's a simple, basic website for if you're just starting out. If like for me, I would never just go to this for my website because I have a Squarespace that I've had for years and I have a ton of stuff in that. But if I was starting today, this is how I would start. 100%. Get on Substack. You can do a lot of things, and we'll get to that. So this is your publication. And you can have more than one publication within Substack. So you have your profile, that's you as a person, and then you can have several publications. And I have 2 publications right now, and one of them I do not have listed on my profile because I'll tell you about it later. So your publication is the container for the message. So this publication is the Christian Life Coach. And I have this homepage, which really just it's all of my posts, which mostly are podcasts. You can host a podcast on here. And again, I do mine in Spotify, but if I was just starting, I would start here. You can podcast through Substack. And I'm uploading my podcast separately here now, but you can you can do your podcast on Substack and it will push it out to Apple, Spotify, those places. You can also connect your Substack to a YouTube channel if you want to do that. Um, so your publication, you want to name it. And okay, for this, I want to go, let's see. I'm going to go back. Okay, here's another thing. When you are in Substack and you start clicking around, you end up opening a lot of tabs on your computer. I was amazed yesterday when I was playing around. I ended up with so many open tabs. Okay, so I'm back on my profile and I want to go to dashboard. It's over on the left. You click on dashboard. And this takes you behind the scenes. And this is where you will set up your publication. Let's see. So I'm going to go into my full steam ahead publication because there's not as much in there. So I'm in my publication now, and I'm going to go to settings. And this is where you set up your publication name. It took me the longest time to figure this out because mine just said Shanapizer Substack for the longest time. And I'm like, how do people have their names? It's in here. So it's dashboard settings, name your publication, and then a short description. I just started this, so I have not done a ton of work on it. Upload a logo or picture. Um, and then there are categories. I haven't even selected category. You can select categories that represent your publication. And I'm using this as kind of a back page thing, so it's not public, so I don't have categories listed. You can decide whether you're going to have a paywall or not, all that good stuff. And then I have there's a spot in the workbook to draft your I help statement for the publication description, which is I help who, with what, by what means. But we're not talking about niching, we are talking about Substack. And then, okay, so your welcome message is over here on the welcome page on the left. So you set up your profile, you set up your publication. Again, you can have more than one. And that's if you want to talk about different topics. Like for me, I have my general life coaching Substack, and I'm creating my full steam ahead for specifically for coaches separately. So you might have books. Like if you have you write novels, you might want to have a novel publication. And if you also write self-help, maybe a different publication for that. It could be whatever different topics. So your welcome page is where people are going to land when they have the option to subscribe to you. So you want to have a photo on there, and then it asks you if you want your name on it, of course, a short description. And you set this up when you are creating your Substack, when you're signing up for it. And in the welcome message, I'm trying to figure out where mine is at. Where is my welcome page? Um, you want to talk about why do people want to subscribe to you? Why do they want to follow you on Substack? What do you write? What do you write or share about? Excuse me. How often do you publish? Kind of what can they expect from you? And um, there are a lot of different places that you can kind of look at in Substack. So it definitely takes some kind of playing around, clicking on things. I am trying to find where that welcome page shows up. And maybe, let's see, my website. I don't know. It shows up somewhere. Did I mention I'm not an expert? So that's your welcome message. And it'll pop up when people are subscribing to you. It tells you who you are, what you write or share about, how often you publish, and what kind of value you're going to offer, and then a call to action, which is most likely subscribe. And now this is the super fun part to me. Let's see. I am on the website customization page. So you go to, so I'm in dashboard. See, from my profile, I click on dashboard and then I go down to settings on the left. And that's where you can click on website and then website theme editor. You can go in and there you can pick your homepage layout. You can pick branding colors. And I would not, I say it in here, don't spend a ton of time on this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Pick a color. I picked my pink background color. Um, you can play around with the different fonts, pick a couple fonts, just decide for now it's good enough. It's good enough. You can always go back and play with it later, see how it looks. You can always go back and make adjustments, but can it just be good enough for now? So you can upload a logo, pick a banner, which I don't even know why they do that because it's kind of small. And then you can customize your homepage. And here in feature, you can set it up to, it's just kind of, it's the layout. So whichever layout you like the best for now, because you can always go back and change it. You can, so pick your homepage layout. Discard changes, doesn't matter. And then let's go back. Then there is, this is so amazing to me. So when you first come into your website, there are a couple pages, your homepage. Um, I think archive pops up. I don't have that on mine, and your about page. And you want to go in and you want to customize those pages. Um, and then you can also add custom pages down here. So for me, I added a full steam ahead page. If you go to my website, you can see I have a podcast page, which populates when you create your podcast. I toggled on the notes page so you can see any notes that I posted. That's kind of like their social media. And then I added a full steam ahead page as a sales page for my 6-week program. My about page talks about who I am, what I offer. Here, I knew it. No, dang it. Drat. Now, where'd it go? Where was I? See, I end up with 18 million. So so this little section here, this is the welcome section that pops up to people when they find you. So I put links to my books, links to my podcast. When you subscribe to my Substack, you'll get helpful insight, tools, tips, blah, 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 blah. So however you want to set up your about page. And then again, in this, going back to settings, opening more tabs. And I know I'm going really fast because there's not a ton of time and there's so much I can do. So much you can do with Substack. Another super fun thing that this is what I just discovered yesterday. This was it. So in my on my webpage, I have pages, and then also I this is what I figured out. You can have a navigation, like for me, I did YouTube, and when you click to open my YouTube page, it actually takes you to my YouTube channel, which is so fun. And it doesn't have to be YouTube, it can be wherever you want it to take them. And the way that you do that is here under website, scroll down to, where is it? Here, the navigation bar links, and you click add link. And then you put the title, what do you want the tab to be named? And then you put the link in there. So you could link it to, if you have one of those fancy shopping what is it, LKT, LTK, whatever that is, you could have it linked to that. You could have it linked to an Amazon storefront. You could have it linked to your actual website if you have a different website. Whatever it is you want, you can have it so that the tab is whatever you want, and then it takes them wherever you want them to go when they click on it. Like I could, instead of having full steam ahead, which I will now because I know I can, instead of putting all of this information in Substack, I am going to change it so that it goes to my shannapeiser.com website, to my full steam ahead page there. So that is an option. Then, and again, I know this is so much information, and that's why there's a recording, and that's why I have full steam ahead. We can go through this very slowly during that 6 weeks. So you can use Substack as for community, a chat. So here I have, this is the Shanapeiser coaching, and like you can see December 13th, I'm like, hey, I'm not even sure what's happening here. I don't know where this is going. I don't know who's going to be able to see this. And beautiful Marilyn Lunsford said, I see it. It was in my chat section. So I'm literally like figuring this out as I go. And then where? So this is in my publication, the Christian Life Coach publication. And to get into, let's see, go into my full steam ahead. Full steam ahead. And I have a chat for that. And these people they're behind my paywall, but I'm not having them pay through Substack. So that's a whole, like, I'm still figuring this out. But you can use Substack to create community within a paid coaching program where they're paying you outside of Substack, and you can grant them access. Or you can just have your chat open to everybody, and it can just be a place of connection, however you want to use it. And like there's one person that I follow on Substack that on Wednesdays, in their chat, they post an invitation for anybody to share one of their posts, and they'll like shout it out and people will go through and like it. So they're using it to help other people market and make connections. And so that's super fun. You can have like a weekly prompt, where you ask the same question every week, however you want to use chat, and you want to decide how often and how long you want to spend on chat also. Now, content. So that's kind of all like getting set up, behind the scenes stuff. And really what you're using, what Substack is meant for is getting your voice, your content, your message out into the world. And you do that by creating content. So you can create a text post, you can create a video post, you can create an audio post. And all of these, you can either, let's see, if I go in, so here you can either send it out to everyone that subscribes to your Substack publication, or you can send it to only paid subscribers. You can, down here under delivery, you can send it via email and the Substack app. So this is where it goes out to your email list. And say, like, I have a Flowdesk email account, and that's what I use for my emails. If I decided I don't want Flowdesk anymore, I'm just going to use Substack, you can download your email list, your email subscribers. You can download that from Flowdesk and you can import it into Substack. So you're just moving your email list from whatever provider you have, Kit, Flowdesk, MailChimp, MailerLite, whatever. Download it there. You can import it into Substack. And the opposite is also true. If you're like, okay, I'm ready to change, I'm done using Substack, you can download your email list from Substack and upload it to whatever email service provider you decide to go to. And then you can also create tags. So kind of like hashtags, topics that you want to, and that's if you're sending it to free people, I think mostly because you want to be searchable. That's what the SEO is looking for. So you can create a post here, text post, you can upload video, you can go live. Another thing that I just realized that you can do on here is you can do like a live webinar, and it can be on your public page so anybody can see it, or it can be just to your paid subscribers. And to be able to do that on Zoom to pay for webinar, I don't even know how much it is. It's pretty expensive. I think it might be like 79 bucks a month plus whatever you already pay for Zoom. And kind of just like you've seen on in coaching programs, when there's a coaching call, it's just the coach and she can pull people up on to be a panelist to coach back and forth. You can do that in Substack. You can, it's basically a webinar, and you can bring another person. I think you can bring up to 2 other people onto the screen with you to do a coaching call. I have not tried that. I have not gone live on Substack, but that is an option, which is super, super cool. Again, you can do your podcast. A super fun thing that I realized, let's see, it's in my Christian life coach. So if you use like Riverside or Descript or one of those kinds of platforms for video podcasting, whatever, when you upload your video, Descript or whatever will pull out sections to create social content for you. So to create a reel, they pull it from the video and you can make a reel out of it. You can do that here also. Let's see. I so I upload my podcasts. Let's see. Okay. You post. So when you're in the post over here, the scissors, and this might be too much for some people, and that's okay. It's just kind of fun to see that, oh my word, this thing can do so much. Click on the scissors and you can choose clips. Okay, it's not going to show it exactly. Okay, so you can like choose a section and then create clip in that, and you can you can, if you want it to be a landscape video clip or a vertical clip for like social media. Why is it not changing? It really does change. So that's that's a landscape clip, but you can create a social media like a reel, so a vertical video. What I do with this with my podcast is I have a whole process, but I put my transcript into ChatGPT and I asked ChatGPT what section would make a good 30 to 90-second reel. It tells me the timestamps. So I went into my video, I picked that timestamp section and created a reel, which is posted on my Instagram. And that's from Substack, which is when I found that out that it could do that, I was like, my mind exploded. For free. It's free. You have to pay for Descript and Riverside to be able to do that. Um, and so just thinking about your content, what what kind of content do you want to use Substack to produce? And my thing is always start where you're at, commit to what you're willing to do consistently, and do it from a place of love. Um, if it's videos, then commit. How often do I want to do a video? And start from there. And each post, like the one, and this is like anytime you're doing a presentation, posting, whatever, what's the one thing that I want the reader or the attendee to walk away with? What's the one thing that I want them to walk away with? And then always end with a call to action. And it can be always the same call to action. You can mix it up however you want to do that. And then decide, what do I want my posting rhythm to be? How often do I want to post? And how do I want to, if do you want to focus on growing your following, or do you just want to use this as a place to house your information? It could be either or, and it can be both. Um, what did I not show? Let's see. So here I'm on my profile. You can create. So a note is like there's a feed. This is kind of like the social media feed. And you can, like whatever it is you're wanting to share that day, you can share it with everybody or just paid subscribers. And this is the way that they're talking about is best to grow your Substack following right now is to post consistently on notes, which is kind of social media-ish. And it is a good way to get into other people's feeds and to be discovered by people. What else? Notes. You can just kind of basics. You can, so this is my feed. This is other people's notes or posts that show up in my feed. You can like, you can comment, you can restack the circle arrows is just like it's like resharing their content into your own feed. So other people will see that you shared their content. You can share it, you can copy a link and, share it different ways. Um, one of let's see, one of the things that's talked a lot about on Substack is, oh, what's the name? Recommendations. So if you got on Substack and you followed me, whoever I recommend, it's going to say, hey, do you want to follow all of these people too? So if you can get people to recommend you on their Substack, then that's a way that you can grow. And collaborating with other people is something that is helpful to get recommended by other people. Um, Trying to think. You like also on my website, so on the homepage. So here are my recommendations on my Substack. If you subscribe to me and say yes, I want to follow those people, these are the people. And then also you can have links. So I have a link to the Christian Life Coach podcast on there that takes you over to my website on my podcast page. Private coaching, if people are interested in private coaching, I have a link to that on my page, on my website, and my Full Steam Ahead page to my website. So there's another place that you can put links. So there's just a lot of different options and ways that you can use Substack as just, even if you're just wanting to use it as a blog or a podcast or whatever to share information, like there's so much you can do. And if you want to use it as a business platform, there are so many functions. And I went through really fast and it's already 48 after the hour. And I kind of just scratched the surface. Can you hear my dog? I'm going to stop focus mode and I'm going to look at the chat. Yeah, right, Mary? There's, and like, who knows how long it's going to be free? They could very well any second say, okay, this is what you can have for free now, and the rest you're going to have to pay for. I would love anybody have questions and with the disclaimer that I may or may not know the answer because like I said, I am not an expert. I am just figuring it out. Anybody have questions?
Shanna, there's some in the chat.
Okay. I'm
One,
looking.
I
Yeah.
had one.
Yeah.
Um, Hi. I was wondering. Well, I had two actually. Is this something where we once it's in there, it remains our content, or is there a chance like Facebook or Instagram where it's can be like closed down and we lose it all?
I mean, the potential is there. As of right now, what I hear people say is you own the content.
Okay.
And just like an email list, you own your email list, you can download it. I always keep a copy of everything of my own too. I have a document in, like I said, my whole life is in Google Drive. I have a document that's like Instagram posts. And so anytime I am going to post something on Instagram, I type it in there. And so I have like everything in my Google Drive. So I'm always going to have access to it because you never know.
Yeah.
There are no guarantees in life.
Right. So even like videos that you make, those are all saved. Yeah.
I actually, and because I'm new to Substack, I don't know if I would have done it differently or not, but even for like full steam ahead, I use my pages um, in Squarespace, unlisted pages, and I upload videos to YouTube as an unlisted video, and then I link that into my hidden page on my website for my paid content.
Hmm.
And really, yeah, even my podcast, I record on Zoom and I have all those videos are stored in my Google Drive. So I've got a lot of stuff in Google Drive. But it's on like, so those videos are on YouTube, they are in my drive, they are on Spotify, and now I'm also adding them to Substack because I just learned of its amazing capacity to create reels for me, which is amazing.
So if we did set up a profile, which I did, yay. Um,
Yay!
how do we follow you? I mean, how do I search or look for people to follow?
That is an excellent question. Let me pull out my phone.
It did ask me like with my people and my contacts like who had Substack if I wanted to,
Mhm.
and I just said yes. So I'm already getting people like, "Hey, I'm following you back" and stuff, but of course I have nothing there yet, but just wondering how we would.
So, in the bottom, there's a search,
Yeah.
and you can just search names.
I typed in your name, but I didn't know if I should type in like maybe no space or something. Oh, there's a space.
Shanna, I just typed in your name,
Oh,
not
I
the name
found
of your business or anything like that, and it popped right up.
Okay.
okay. Yeah, I did it without this. I did it like the more like the handle it said instead of the
Oh,
name.
gotcha.
So
Yeah,
I got it now. All right.
I followed you too.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Can you do, I'll make sure I'm not missing anything.
Hey Shanna, what's the
Yes.
demo for this? What
I'm
kind of
sorry.
demographics? I know Facebook is kind of older market, TikTok younger. Do you know the demos yet?
I don't know. I'm guessing older. I think that it's also really evolving. People are hearing about it more now because, and initially, I think it was really geared towards writers and authors as a way to get their work out and to build a following for their writing. And now people like us are like, wait, what? I can use this as a website. I can podcast through this. So I think that it also could be just because I'm diving into it more and more. So the algorithm is showing me more about Substack. But I would guess, I think that it's probably the same kind of market as it's more like a YouTube than an Instagram or Facebook. It's people that are looking for specific information or specific types of information rather than just um, scrolling. It's more
Got it.
curated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Shanna, I have a question for you. I saw when you were doing all of your demonstration that you had one paid subscriber, or was that just an example?
I think that I added me as a paid subscriber.
Okay. Okay.
So
I
what I
was
did
curious
do,
if you knew how that works because you and I voice messaged back and forth, and I've not done paid subscribers. I've had them pay outside of Substack.
Okay, so you're the reason that I dove into this because I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So what I did, and I actually wanted to message you back and be like, okay, how do you do this? Um, where am I at? Go to my dashboard. So what I did, it does say I have who's a paid subscriber. I assume that's me. I don't know what that is. I haven't even paid any attention to that. But what I did do is in the Full Steam Ahead group. So people that have already paid, my private clients get access to everything that I do. So I added my private clients and the Full Steam Ahead people that have signed up for the next round. I imported their email addresses, and then you can, and I'm assuming this is how you've done it because you're the one that told me that this was even possible. Um, I, what's it called? I comped them a paid subscription. So then when through that Full Steam Ahead publication in that chat, when I say paid people only, then it's only going to those people that have been comped because they're not paying through the app, they're paying outside.
Yeah. I wonder
Think,
how long that we will
yeah,
be able to do that because
I know.
the paid subscription through Substack, they take a lot.
Yeah, they do. So when you monetize through Substack, you attach your Stripe account to it. And so Stripe takes whatever, the 3%, and Substack takes 10%. So you're paying 13%, having people pay through Substack, which is, I mean, that's great. If you have content behind a paywall that you're like, yeah, I can have this free content and I can have this extra level of paid content. Plus, I have my private clients that pay off the app, then why not? I haven't started doing that. I think I have a paywall, but I set it like really high so nobody would do it. Like, please don't pay anything. I don't know what I'm doing here. Or that's not true. I have not decided what I would even put behind a paywall, and I have not decided that I'm ready to commit to creating content at that level.
So do
Uh,
you think that you'll move all of your stuff into Substack? Are you leaning that way?
so for this next round of Full Steam Ahead, what I did last time was used Voxer as the community where I would say, I uploaded the videos. I'm going to try Substack this next round. And and I kind of was just thinking about this morning. I'm even going to try using it to drip out the content because I have a weekly teaching with a workbook. And I've just been doing it on, like I said, like a hidden web page, but I'm going to see how it works in here to just put it all in here and drip it out weekly and see how it works. And if it doesn't work, then I'll figure it out. But I'm super interested and curious to see as I dive into that more. Ooh, Johnny, good question. So you, and I don't know if this is the question that you meant to ask or not, but I'll answer it both ways. You can, for a fee of $50, you can link your own URL to your Substack webpage. I don't know. I don't think that the using the Substack web address is terrible because so mine is what Substack or coachshanap.com christianp.substack.com. And that's not terrible. You can link that and put it places, but you can pay to attach your URL to your Substack website. And also each Substack website is attached to your publication, not to you. So coachshanapy.substack.com is the Christian Life Coach podcast or Christian Life Coach um, publication. And I also have Full Steam Ahead. I have for Full Steam Ahead, it's coachshanapyfsa.substack.com because Full Steam Ahead was taken. But so you can do that. I don't know if that was your question really, Johnny, but it's so cool that you can do that for $50. Because usually in order to use your own URL, you have to pay, for the website platform or can't like Canva Pro, you have to pay for that. Also, totally different topic. But did you know that if you have Canva Pro, Canva bought, what is this called? Affinity. And it is, I literally have had it up on my screen for days because I want to go through and watch the video. I'm assuming it's some kind of editing software that's at a higher level than Canva. And you can get that for free if you have Canva Pro. You're welcome for that tidbit of unrelated information. Johnny, can you do multiples? So a link to your YouTube and a link to your own URL. Yeah, you can. There are, like I showed you, there's several different places that you can link. You can link it as a tab on the website. You can also have, like I have a list of links on my website. You can also, like within, let's see, I'll share my screen again. So if I go, nope, that's not what I wanted. Go through all 2,000 tabs I have open. So on my Full Steam Ahead page in Substack, it's like the sales page for Full Steam Ahead. And I have linked Say No More I'm In. I have that linked to my Stripe page. So you can put links, you can put all the links you want in there. It's amazing. One chat I believe you can have different chat threads. And if nothing else, you can have a paid thread and you can have a everybody thread. I have a thread in and you have a different thread for each publication. So I have a Coach Shanna P thread and I have a Full Steam Ahead thread. And I haven't heard, like I said, Renee, I haven't heard anything about them like locking your account or anything like that.
I'm really excited. So I've got it set up. I don't know if you saw, but I'm like so new to social media and I've resisted forever. Um, but uh I have this set up and now I'm gonna have to re-listen to the beginning and how you created the different for your business and then for you and so on. So
Yeah. Yeah.
this is really helpful.
There's so much potential.
Yeah.
So much potential. And like I'm just like I said, every once in a while I'll find something new and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And like I love digging into stuff like this and figuring out kind of the nuts and bolts and the different things that you can do with it.
Yeah. And this is kind of the support I need. You really got a cool niche because like I love the coaching, teaching. I career coach, and I also am kind of the midlife moms. What do I do next kind of thing. And
Yeah.
but it's this kind of thing that I just it really does kind of stop me. I'm like, oh, if somebody just do it with me, or
Well,
yeah,
hey, this is
great.
a great segue.
I know. I thank you. You're welcome. But I'm just now reading your stuff. Megan's the one that kind of told me about this literally yesterday. So I was like, oh
Thank you,
wow.
Megan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Renee, if I could add to that too. Um, and Shanna, maybe this is an idea for the February version of Full Steam Ahead, maybe something we can work on. I know too that when I did my certification through LMS, we had two 20 somethings in our team or in our cohort. Phoebe was one of them, Angela's daughter, and Ashla. And what's so great, Renee, if you've got a 20 something in your life,
Yeah.
because I didn't even like sometimes you don't even know what you don't know. And we were talking about reels, and I think it was on a Friday group that people were talking about making reels and doing reels. And I honestly am just one of those people that doesn't even, I'm just getting used to seeing my pretty face on the camera. So but to actually sit there and make the reel, I didn't even realize, like, I don't even know how to hit record. Where do you hit record on Instagram? Like, I don't, and it was funny. I was just happened to be on with Ashla one day, the two of us talking. And she goes, well, let me show you. And she just like pops it up. And I mean, what she showed me took 5 minutes and it was like mind blowing. And then what's funny is, to be honest with you, I didn't use it. So I've already lost it. So that's where I'm saying maybe we need to do that again. But it's just
Yeah.
funny. I appreciate you at least admitting that too, Renee, because we just got to give ourselves grace that we
Yeah.
don't even realize what button to push. And it's only because like everything else we're learning and we learn in the world, it's like you just got to remember,
And
yeah, some of this
and
stuff
it
people start doing it and they're so used to it, they forget. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot I was new once a
just
year ago and I didn't know how to do this either.
just the
So,
consistency to use it. I have an 18 and 20-year-old daughters who know how one's a graphic design and it's like back of her hand. And I'm like,
oh yeah, exactly.
access to it, but I just am not being consistent enough and they'll show me things and then I'll, 2 weeks
Yeah.
later, what was that again?
Yeah, right. Where did it go? Post-it notes. That's what I use post-it notes for. It
And
reminds me how
and
to
the
do
more
it again.
consistent you get doing it, I mean, it's just like anything. If there's something in your
You'll
house that
remember.
you do once a year, you have to look up the instructions to do it every year. But if it's something that you do on a weekly basis, then
Yeah,
you
exactly.
remember. You're
Yeah.
reminding yourself. And that's like so full steam ahead. I put the link in the chat. Um, that's kind of just what you said, Renee. That's what it's geared towards. We pay for the certifications. We have confidence that we can help women, that we can transform their lives. We've experienced it and we want to share it with everybody. And then it's like, oh, I have to be a marketer. I have to be a salesperson. I have to be a graphic designer. I have to be a content creator. And none of that is taught in certification. Like we get amazing, amazing teaching and like we're transformed just going through certifications and then what, then all the self-doubt and the imposter syndrome and all of the things get in the way on top of I don't know how to do a reel. I don't want to dance on video. I don't like all of like how do you use edits? There's all these different platforms. Do I want to do Kajabi? Do I want like what's ConvertKit? I don't it's not anything anymore because it's called Kit now. Like whatever. And so full steam ahead, which I can't even tell you. I don't think that I've ever been as excited about anything that I've done as I have been about full steam ahead and about this workshop. I'm like, I'm so excited. I love this because it is the mindset and all of that amazingness. And it's so fun to like, oh, that's how you do that. And to see somebody do their first post or a podcast or a video or whatever. Oh my dear God in heaven, go live on stories. Go face to video on stories if you are trying to sell something because that is how people get to know who you are. Anyway, full steam ahead, 6 weeks. I have a teaching each week workbook about, and the teachings are more geared towards mindset kind of stuff, I think. And then we have calls twice a week. We have a call where we talk about the teaching, and then we have a co-working call where we did lots of um, screen shares and walking people through getting their tech set up. And that is so fun to me because like different people are using different platforms. And so I'm getting to see all of these different platforms. And because I am pretty techy, I can help figure it out as we go. So we did a lot of screen sharing, getting, calendars set up, packages set up, that kind of thing. So whatever it is that you're working on, we do that. And it's really it's about not just learning how to build your business, but I walk alongside you to get it built, to get the systems set up. I'm not about design. I'm not going to create beautiful graphics. I'm not an artist whatsoever. Um, but I can help you get the tech set up and and a process for onboarding your clients. I have a, we didn't really dive into it a lot, but I have a file, a folder in Google Drive. You can get information to help. Okay, I have a consult scheduled. Somebody scheduled a consult. What do I do? I don't know how to do a consult. I've never done that before. I've got you. I have consult information in there. So, and it's going to be different every round we go through because people are at different places. Even the people that are doing it from last time, they're at a different place now. So we're going to be working on wherever they're at. So that is full steam ahead, and
When,
I love it. Yes.
when do you start like your 6 week start for? It sounds like you're
Excellent
already
question,
in one.
Renee. No, we finished up at the beginning of January. A new round is starting on February 1st. And I have next Wednesday, whatever that is, the 27th, 8th. Next Wednesday, for anybody that joins by then, they can join live with Jacqueline Waltman, who is my editor. She's content creator, editor, and she did a presentation last time too. She is going to come and do a presentation next week about content creation, um, and all of that good stuff. And then the week after that, that week of February 1st, will be the beginning of the next round of Full Steam Ahead. And our calls are 90 minutes. And right now I have the weekly calls scheduled. I changed the time because stinking Brooke Castillo and her weekly that people signed up for, that I did not, because I am constraining, and my thoughts are like ping pong balls on that. I'm like, I really wanted to. Nope, I decided I'm not going to. I have everything I need. And I got certified through Life Coach School, so I have access to all of her stuff anyway. That really did help in the decision. So I scheduled the calls on Wednesdays, those calls on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock my time. So noon Pacific, 1 Mountain, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. Everything's recorded. There's replays for everything. And then I haven't scheduled the co-working calls. Last time we did them on Sunday late afternoons. And so whoever signs up this time, I'm gonna kind of um, you know, weigh and kind of play around with that and maybe do it at different times each week. I kind of was wondering about Saturday mornings. because Sunday afternoons for people farther east than me, that was like dinner time. If people go to church on Sunday nights, I don't know if that happens anymore. Maybe it does in the South. Sunday night services were always my absolute favorite. So anyway, that's what I have,
I have another
ladies.
question.
Yes.
Okay, so do you know when your next 6 weeks rounds will start? Because it's just interesting. I just signed up with Jill Pulver, Design Your Business, and she is kind of the make it pretty, look at your brand, like all of that, which I needed kind of a refresher, um, and a refocus. So, which is in 8 weeks. And I think we have 6 left, which is interesting. But it would be, so I don't know if you have already picked your start date for the next session or,
I have not. So 6 weeks takes us, what, mid-March? So it'll probably be April, May.
okay, just curious. All right, well, I will stay in touch and
Yeah,
definitely,
absolutely.
definitely considering this is great.
Thank you.
Hey Shanna, as somebody who's doing the weekly, I do appreciate that it got moved, but she's also recording them. So like today, I'm just gonna watch recording. But what I was gonna tell you, since you already have all her content anyway, she did give us out like a checklist because she loves a checklist that just has 52 boxes to say, remind yourself to check it each week so you know you do it. But then she
Okay.
also gave us a one pager that is all just a list of all her like all her tools is what she calls it, her tool checklist thing. So I was gonna say, if you have that already, you could kind of you could do the weekly without actually doing it. Because you could just go back and that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
And if you don't
I
have
think,
that tool list, I could send you that list just so you could have it because that's basically what she's saying is like
yeah.
all the stuff is in the books that you could have bought if you wanted to buy the books. So you have all that stuff. But yeah,
Yeah. So
you're right.
really,
Yeah.
you can just watch the replay on the weekly unless you're going to raise your hand, which if you're in the weekly, you should absolutely be raising your hand every week until that woman coaches you.
Yeah, well, I agree. Yeah, even watching her coach people, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting a lot out of it there, that even too. Yeah, for sure. She's she is good. And I've
Yeah.
already learned to like her more. So, we discussed once upon a time that she's
Yeah.
a she's a different style, but that's not a bad thing.
She is. So it's Brooke Castillo, Renee.
Yeah,
She does
she's
the life coach
very
school. Yeah.
yeah. She's
She
very
she is
confident,
not, yeah.
but she
And
should be. She's a
she talks
successful
about
person.
in I know she talks about it in certification and in the post certification materials about positioning, and she has intentionally positioned herself as exactly who she is. Like
Yes, yes.
she's elite, she is standoffish. She's not the person who is going to stand around and let people come up and take selfies with her. Although she has moved a little bit more in that direction over the past few years, so but she's not the warm fuzzy at all. And she is intent that is how she has positioned herself. So that is all very intentional. I love her. But also I'm the one that wanted Dr. Phil, the super nanny, and Jillian Michaels to come into my house and get us into shape. So I'm not looking for the warm fuzzy. I want to tell it like it is. Make me puke in the bucket so that I whip my butt into shape.
He sounds
Uh,
like the female of Mark Butler. Is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah, office hour. I like him, but I remember the first time thinking, holy cow, he's just gonna tell it like it is. You better have some big girl pants on.
For sure. For
Well,
sure.
But
I
Yeah.
I love
even
him.
I even had an analogy in my head for anyone that's a college basketball fan, and I am going a little far back, but Coach Bobby Knight, if you're the kind of person that didn't know anything about Coach Knight and all you knew was that he threw a chair once, you just didn't understand him as a coach. Yeah, he did. He did. And was he rough? Yeah. But I've read like some of the books, especially like Steve Alford, one of his most famous players. wrote the best book about him. And Steve Alford was a good Christian kid that went to play for him. And he was like, if there was anybody that could have been offended, it would have been him. And he was like, no, I'm just going to take him how he is.
Yeah.
And if you see past his personality, not unlike our current president, see past his personality, you can see what's behind it. And it can be impressive. So that's where I'm starting to see Brooke like that.
Yeah.
And not
Yeah.
just because I'm an Indiana basketball fan, but because
Well,
at
that's,
the same
yeah,
time.
you can be put off by the
But what
way
she
that
teaches,
she
and especially
talks.
that list, even that list of tools is impressive because some of the
Yeah.
stuff, even the stuff that's listed on there, I'm excited just to hear what she has to say about it because some of it's almost common sense things, but it's human behavior. So
Yeah.
it makes so much sense. She put a word to it, and you went,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
that's what makes us do those things. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That was when I started listening to her podcast pretty early on in like the early 2000s. And that was what struck me, like the way that she talked. I'm like, this describes like what I'm thinking without even knowing that I'm thinking it kind of stuff. Like, oh, that's how you describe this
Yeah.
thing. That's how you put words
Well,
to it.
I actually write the motivational triad in the front of my planner every quarter because that has been my biggest aha. Or again, it's my biggest grace to myself. We do this
Yes.
because our brains are human. There's a
Yes.
reason. It's not because in my mind, I feel like all we've heard most of our life is, oh, you're just being lazy. It's
Yeah.
like just the fact that you're actually being told
Uh-oh.
what's amazing about it. It's how God created us, but
Yeah.
yet we can also be different. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the thing. We can make a change.
Yeah.
So
I, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I have to find it. I feel like I did a really good video about using the motivational triad, but like flipping it
mhm,
and um like when we're wanting to be intentional, we recognize how the motivational triad is doing its job. And then, but I want to be intentional. So instead of seeking pleasure, I want to seek my ultimate pleasure, not my pleasure right now. And it's so much more pleasurable to have accomplished whatever the thing is and like avoiding pain, being willing to experience and allow and feel the discomfort that it takes right now in order to get to that ultimate, like the actual real pleasure
mhm,
and the conserving energy. Like, okay, I don't really like a bear's not going to chase me, so I don't need to conserve my energy to run away from the bear. Like, I can actually use my energy and it's okay. And I need to remind myself of that.
Shanna, where can we find that video?
Shanna's like, I need to watch my own video.
Watch. I think that it had to do with overeating. I think it was specifically geared towards overeating, but it was that same thing. It's on YouTube somewhere. I was gonna go try to find it, but I think it was. I even had graphics and everything. I'll have to find it. Not sure. It's somewhere in my YouTube channel. I have 300 videos in there or something like that. Any other questions? Oh, what is this motivational triad of which you speak? Oh, the motivational triad is basically your brain's job is to do three things. Three, not two, three, three things. To seek pleasure, avoid pain, and conserve energy. And so um when we're like, why can't I just stop eating? Why do I keep going to the fridge? It's because we are trying to avoid pain. We don't want to feel the discomfort of hunger for one thing, or wanting something and not having it, being stressed, whatever. And so then we want to avoid pain. We want to seek pleasure. We want that quick hit of dopamine that we get when we eat the Oreo or the Oreo balls that my son has been making dipped in vanilla white chocolate. It's literally double stuffed Oreos mixed with cream cheese, formed into balls dipped in white chocolate. It's delicious and amazing, if I may say so myself. So seek pleasure, the dopamine, whatever it is, and to conserve energy. And like it goes back to like the caveman days, um, to conserve the energy because the saber-toothed tiger is going to be chasing you, whatever. Seek pleasure to procreate and to avoid pain by, you know, the tiger, all the things. So, motivational triad. No, no, it is talked about here and there, though. Any other questions? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I will, as soon as this video downloads, I will get it all into some form, maybe on Substack, to send out. And I appreciate you being here. Thank you, ladies.
Thanks,
See you
Shannon.
later. Yes. Bye.